analyzing the strength of a company or analyzing the strength of a sector is very, very important. As we always say, trend is your friend. So in order to excel or in order to succeed in market, you need to follow the trend and be in the trending market. So yes, the trend is your friend. Be in the stocks or be in the sector where it is trending is easy to say. But how to apply? To apply, you need to know the strength of the stock, or you need to factor in, or you need to consider the strength of the stock with respect to an entity, with respect to a benchmark. So for us, the benchmark is Nifty 50. Yes. So the stocks returns what you make, or the portfolio returns what you make, if it is exceeding the benchmark, which is Nifty 50 performance, you are doing good. So what we will do, we will be discussing about relative strength, which is one of the very, very, very important indicator, which will tell you whether the stock which you have invested or whether the sector which you have picked is stronger than the benchmark or not. Yes, we consider benchmark Nifty 50 as the base factor for us. So whoever does not know, remember, relative strength is to tell you the strength of that particular investment, what you are doing, either into a sector or into a stock, and you compare this relative strength with respect to another second entity, that is your benchmark Nifty 50, right? First we'll be discussing on that, and after that, on the second stage, what you can also do, if you are picking a company in pharma sector, then that stock, you can consider the relative strength of that company with respect to the pharma index. So you will know with respect to the index of pharma whether this company is worth to invest. Is it showing strength? Because in a weak company or in a company where it is not showing strength with respect to the benchmark, we do not be in, because we always love to be in the trend, right? In the trending market, we should participate. Okay. So now to observe this, let me go to the charts and we will learn how to apply them, right? How to apply them. So yes, this is the platform for TradingView, right? This is the platform for TradingView. And here, what we will do, right? Here, what we will do, let me load the indicator, right? Let me load the indicator called as relative strength. So how do I load it? I go to indicators. I just punch in relative strength. So yes, I've loaded my relative strength. So relative strength will be below, right? This is the relative strength indicator. And what did I tell you? Whenever you want to find out the strength, you have to factor in with another second entity or a second benchmark. Some references should be there, right? So that reference should be Nifty 50. But what is the default noted? SPX, right? No, we do not take S&P. We need to change it to our benchmark. So how do you do it? You go to the settings part. I hope everyone are clear. Let me load it again for people who are like beginners. You get your normal stock, the chart. You go to indicators, go to search and just type relative strength. Okay. And even you can favorite this. You can favorite this so that it comes into your favorites. So I have loaded relative strength here. And in the relative strength, I go to the settings. The reason being, I don't want to see S&P here. I want to see my index, my benchmark, which is Nifty 50, right? So I'm going to settings here and I'm going to the comparative symbol. With which symbol you need to compare? I'm going to the settings here and instead of S&P, I'm typing as Nifty 50, right? Nifty 50. So yes, I have loaded Nifty 50. So now you are comparing any stock, right? Be it like Warren Beverages with respect to Nifty 50. Now, most important factor, we have crossed one hurdle. We are checking the strength of the company. Second, we are comparing with the benchmark. Relatively, we are looking at it. Third, how much period. So if a relative strength line is drawn, it is drawn as per the period what you take. So now remember these numbers or just note it down somewhere in your diary or your notes. We have 3 time frames. All your short-term investments, you look on daily, and then long-term investments, you look on weekly and monthly, right? This is what we have learned, daily, weekly, and monthly. In order to know the strength in a daily time frame, you look at last 123 days, right? You look at last 123 days, the strength of that Nifty 50. If it is a weekly chart, you look at last 52 weeks, almost a year. Because this is long term, right? We are not playing in a short term game there. Companies where, sir, I want to hold for 3 years, I want to hold for 5 years, or even like a longer period of time, the short term disturbances or the short term noise should not impact your investments. So we look at 52 weeks. And yes, on a monthly, 12 months, like a 1 year period. I repeat, daily 123 days, weekly 52 weeks, monthly 12 months. So how do we load it? We look now, right? So I'll repeat again the settings part if someone had a doubt, right? So yes, once you load your relative strength, you go to the second option. Once you hover your mouse, right? Yeah, once you hover your mouse on the settings, you will know, right? This is settings. If you want to hide it, you can hide it, right? Go to the settings part and you change it to Nifty 50. Period means you're looking at last how many days, as it is a daily chart, you are looking at it. What did we discuss? We are looking at last 123 days. Why? This is on a daily chart. And also let me load again the settings part. And as you go to the style, right? So this level, whatever dotted line, I'm not sure how many of you are able to see the dotted line. This dotted line is the Nifty 50. If you want to make it more thick, you can click here and increase the setting, right? So yes, this blue line is the RS, relative strength, and this dotted line is your Nifty 50, right? Nifty 50. So this relative strength of Warren Beverages is this dotted line for the last 123 days. And this is Nifty 50, right? Because you have considered Nifty 50 here. And yes, we are looking at last 123 days, right? Yeah. Last 123 days strength, we are looking at it. Okay. Yes. And even, yeah, the settings part, sir, I'm not able to see the dotted line. I want to have a very clear reflection of it, right? So you go to the settings part, style, and we are looking at the level. Click on here and you can increase the thickness here, right? Thickness. So now, as you look at Warren Beverages, right? As you look at Warren Beverages, wonderful, right? So from almost around last year January, right? Last year January, or even like even in January, only for one instance it has at least touched the Nifty, but always, right? It is always above the Nifty 50, which means, sir, what does this imply, right? What does this imply? This clearly implies Warren Beverages, when compared to the Nifty 50, it is overperforming. It is performing, right? It is performing above the Nifty 50, right? If at all, right, Mr. Ramesh, right? Whenever this particular RS is coming below the Nifty 50, which is this dotted line, it reflects the stock is weaker than Nifty. Let me take an example, right? Let me take an example. Gland Pharma, right? Gland Pharma Limited. So now, Gland Pharma Limited, someone says, sir, yes, this is a company beaten down badly. This is a company where I'm observing on the fundamentals, all that is good. But if you see on the price and volume action, the price is weaker than Nifty 50 in the last 123 days also, from a very, very longer period, right? Even from December 21, it is weak. Sir, now I will still enter when a stock is very weak. And how do you assess weakness? Two ways of doing it. Fundamentally, you analyze the quality of the company and you assess. That is a subjective way, right? Or you're just assuming it. In technicals, here, you can assess the strength by charts, by a benchmark, right? By a benchmark, right? I hope everyone got the point, right? I hope everyone got the point. So yes, Gland Pharma compared to Warren Beverages or like any stock, which we can take examples, it will reflect as weakness. Now that Sir, yes, this is for the short term, right? Maybe 123 days you are taking. So a company which is already there in my portfolio for the last couple of weeks, couple of months, it has been performing very well. It is giving me very good profits. So can I look here? Absolutely yes. For example, what I am doing, I am looking at a company called as Cholamandalam Investments, right? Yeah, Cholamandalam Investments. So Cholamandalam Investments has been a very good stock, and yes, it is a stock where we can look in a weekly or a monthly chart. And yes, even if you look in a weekly chart, except for the COVID fall, it has been a continuous accelerating stock. And even after the COVID fall, it has been very good. On a weekly chart also, it is very strong. So what do we do? If you are loading a relative strength on the weekly chart, you go to the settings, and instead of 123, if you are keeping 123, it is comparing for the last 123 weeks. No, on a weekly chart, you look at 52 weeks, right? 52 weeks. Yes, on a 52-week relative strength with respect to Nifty 50, it is still above, right? It is still positive. So as long as this RS line is above this dotted line, which is our Nifty 50, it is strong, right? It is stronger. Even, right? You look at Eicher Motors, right? Yeah, you look at Eicher Motors. Yes, sir, it has had on a weekly chart, it has had some correction. Now, yes, it is building up slowly strength. And as you see, relative strength wise also, even if someone is holding this company for a longer period of time, on a weekly chart, 52 weeks, yes, this is showing some good strength, right? Good strength. Narayana Hrudayalaya, right? Either you look at a short term or even on a weekly chart. Yes, Narayana Hrudayalaya, even in Nifty 50, on a 52 weeks chart, it is above the Nifty level, above the benchmark level. So it is showing you strength. And even if you look at a monthly chart, sir, I'm considering really for a very, very longer period, you load your 12 months, right? 12 months. Just to repeat, relative strength is to assess the strength of the company. Daily, 123 days is the time frame we take. Weekly, 52 weeks, and monthly, 12 months time frame we take. Okay. Now, sir, is it only limited to benchmark index Nifty 50? No. You can also apply it to your index also, right? Index also. Let me take the example of Newland Lab, right? Newland Laboratories. Yes. So this is a pharmaceutical company, and I'm looking at a daily chart. So I'll go to indicators. I will load relative strength, right? I load relative strength. And yes, it is SPX 50. We don't want S&P here. We want Nifty 50, right? We want Nifty 50. And if period, we load 123 days period, right? So this is one way of looking at it. Yes, with respect to Nifty 50, Newland Laboratories is very strong. Apart from that, you go to the settings. Instead of Nifty 50, you load Nifty Pharma, right? You load CNX Pharma. So what are you doing here? Nifty Pharma daily chart last 123 days, you are checking whether this pharma company with respect to my index of pharma, is it stronger or not, right? So what is the chart telling you? We can even go to the settings, go to style, level, and you increase the thickness, right? Increase the thickness. Yes. So this dotted line, this zero line implies your benchmark, which is pharma benchmark, right? Pharma index. So you compare to the pharma index, Newland Lab is very, very strong, right? Newland Lab is very, very strong. Sir, Laurus Lab, I just wanted to look at Laurus Laboratories Limited, right? Laurus Laboratories Limited. No, Laurus Lab is very, very weak compared to the Nifty Pharma index, right? As you see, it is far below the dotted line, right? Far below the dotted line. Even Gland Pharma, we have checked just now, right? We have checked just now. Any company, right? Dr. Reddy, right? Let's take, okay, Glenmark. Let us take Glenmark Pharma, right? Glenmark Pharma. Yes, Glenmark is stronger than Nifty 50 or even than your pharma index, right? Than your pharma index. So yes, relative strength, a very important indicator on a daily time frame when you got a buy signal for any company, right? Any company. So you can compare the strength and yes, be in the strength. Any company where you are very strong fundamentally, but it is looking very weak on technicals, not very ideal until unless you have a very strong conviction on the fundamentals. Okay. And yes, if anyone has a doubt, sir, yes, why we are looking at the index at a zero level, we are just keeping the index at zero. This is a default setting, right? This is a default setting, right? You do not worry on it. We are comparing the stock with the benchmark, right? Pharma or even Nifty 50, right? So yes, keep practicing it. And also, once you apply, and this is not only restricted to Nifty or pharma, you can apply it in banking, you can apply it any index what you are looking at it, right? What you are looking at. Okay.